It's a classic case of keep going back to the brief, and that again comes from my professional life, where as you work through a project you always refer back to the original brief just to check that you're still doing what you said you wanted to do, because it's very, very easy to get carried away with creativity, where the creative tail wags the practical dog, where you get swayed by designers, architects, other educationalists who think it would be a fabulous idea to do this innovative, groundbreaking kind of approach, and then you go back to the vision which was written down and say, hold on a second, that's not what we had originally signed up to. We had a significant number of detractors who, from within the Jewish community, that we had to deal with. And the only way we dealt with them, and this could be for other free schools where the local community, you'll have the unions saying we don't believe a free school should exist, you'll have the local authorities battling against you in some circumstances and so forth. So it's very important to deal with it by just focusing on what you're doing. If you get engaged in a lot of arguing in public over things that you cannot change, we could not change the views of those people who didn't believe that JCOS should be allowed to exist. That's their right to do it. We had a choice between spending a lot of time trying to persuade them, which we realised we wouldn't, or just respecting their view and focusing on what we were doing. So one of the key things is not to be distracted from your vision. Keep at it. When people try to slam doors in your face, there'll be another window open somewhere else. The community that we sit in is vital to have them with you, to make sure that they understand what you're about, because rumour mill runs very quickly. So it was vital for us to be out there engaging with the local community, other local faith groups, other schools, to talk to them. The educational people generally, the educational group went and met them rather than me, so that when we needed advice, or we needed to advise them how we were moving along, when we had draft plans to show them and so forth, we were the ones telling them about it rather than them reading about it in the local newspaper and then ring up saying, oh, why haven't you told us that you were going to do X or Y? The marketing of the school presented, ironically, one of the biggest challenges for us. At first sight, it seemed as though we had lots of people enthusiastic to come to our school, registrations coming out of our ears, everybody saying, my goodness, what took you so long to want to set up a cross-communal Jewish school? As a marketeer, I didn't take that for granted. I kept on saying, we need to fight for these parents, because, one, we don't have any school to show them round, let alone show them a picture. We had an architect's impression, but in the early days that was a pretty picture. Two, we had no head teacher. Parents buy into head teachers. From a marketing point of view, it's very, very important to understand what parents are interested in. And as a parent of now their 16-year-old twin boys and an 11-year-old girl, I had some understanding of that. The head teacher is crucial. So yes, no school to look through, no head teacher. We did have the vision, which a lot of parents would think is very nice, because who wouldn't say that we're striving for educational excellence? I've never seen a school that said we're aiming for mediocrity. And when I look around at what the free schools are saying now, most of it is the same, because it's common sense. You know, good discipline, anti-bullying, all the other stuff, and so forth. So we had to somehow give it substance. The ethos that we had to make it live. And that was about the style and tone of communication. It was about acknowledging what we didn't have to show parents, because they would know that in any case. So instead of hiding or pretending, and accentuating the positive side of a new school, because also no track record. That's the fourth thing. Fourth thing. The fourth thing was no track record. So the parents would look at it and say, well, it's a leap of faith. It's a huge leap of faith of parents. And I think that free schools that are coming up, the first 16, and then the others, must never assume that parents will say what they will do. You never assume that parents will do what they say. It's a bit like being asked who you're going to vote for at election time, and then you get into the privacy of the ballot box and you think, well, maybe I'll vote who I usually voted for, even though you told the researchers otherwise.